So, hello all. I hope it's been another safe week for all of you and your near and dear ones and your immediate family. Uh, I'm sure all of us in our immediate circles continue to hear accounts and first hand experiences of people who we have known, people within the family, ultimately perishing to this COVID situation which is happening in the country right now. And it's quite crushing and anxiety filled times for all of us. So I think all of us must continue to do what has been working best for all of us, which is practice safety in any and all ways which are known to us and which are advised by the experts. So as we are in lockdown in various parts of the country at the moment, so in Bangalore, it's 23rd of May today, and I think they have taken the I think the right decision certainly to extend it till 7th of June, because the daily statistics still continue to be quite worrying in terms of the number of infections and the number of people who are still continuing to perish. Of course, there are some silver linings and glad tidings that we actually get to hear in terms of people recovering, or the request for in-hospitalization triage services sort of starting to come down just by a little bit, but I think it's too early to rejoice or celebrate. So in the times we are, and all of us here in this community are motorcyclists, so all of us are itching to sort of reach a day where it becomes somewhat safe and tenable to take our beloved motorcycles out and go somewhere. Could be a breakfast ride, could be just a bunch of people meeting, could be a trip or a tour, could be anything, but we are itching to get back on our saddles. So in this situation, I think it's very important to have a discussion or a conversation on what are some of the aspects to consider during these pandemic times, because the risk, I think, is not going away anytime soon. So the rate at which the virus is mutating, there could be other deadlier strains that could come in the days, weeks, months to come. Vaccination is another topic, whether vaccination will really be effective against any other strains of viruses that may come. But that's what this conversation is all about. So what are some of the things we should be thinking about when we say motorcycling during the COVID pandemic? So I sat and sort of made a list of all the things that I can think of which are important for one to think about. So here is a few list of things that I actually came up with. So I think one of the things that we must do whenever we get back to motorcycling is, I think it's really quite advisable to try and start really early in the morning and reach home by daybreak. So one of the models could be, you could start at around 4:30 a.m. Try and reach home by around 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Second will be, I think breakfast type rides will be best, where you actually get to go for a bit of a long distance and come back. As far as possible, I think we should try and avoid pillion. It just reduces another additional human being exposed to any sort of risk. We should try and look at nature type places, or kind of places where there is not much human footprint. So typically try and avoid going to any places which is like a touristy sort of a place, or restaurants where people actually come in big numbers, or where people actually converge. I think food, water, coffee must be taken from home, and you can stand on any side of the highway in a safe place and have it. You can have your water, you can have your coffee from a flask. Try not to eat at a restaurant, because the risk is still there. Wherever there is a human footprint, the risk is there. So typically something which is very easy to work with is fruits. So apples you can carry, banana you can carry, pear, dry fruits, your cashews, almonds, groundnuts, even groundnuts, all those things. For example, I'm forgetting the word for the dry fruit which people generally eat. They used to, how can I forget this? In Kannada it's called, oh, I forgot the name in Kannada as well, but dry fruits, basically you carry a packet of dry fruits, you can have it. It gives you a lot of energy and keeps your stomach filled, so you will not be hungry. So that is one. And I think we must try and tank up a day before, so that during the course of one single ride you avoid as much human footprint as possible. So imagine, in one ride you went to the petrol station, you dealt with them, filled up the petrol, paid them, you stopped at another place for a toll booth, and you stopped at yet another place and met somebody. So 3 human interactions. So cut as much human interaction as possible. So cut the tank fueling part for the day of the ride. Try and do it the day before. I think that's one thing which it's all about de-risking. How best and in what sort of an optimized way you can de-risk. I think that's what this is all about. I think vaccination, we must all try and get it as soon as possible. So I know that there are various challenges with vaccines at the moment, but all of us must find a way to get vaccinated as soon as possible. I think touring will be risky, multi nights touring, where you have to stay at a place overnight. That will be risky, exactly because of the same reason. So again, when you stay at a hotel, there is risk. When you have food at a hotel, there is risk. Try and keep it a single day trips as much as possible. Now coming to one topic which actually is worth talking about. So toll booths. Normally most parts of the country motorcyclists are allowed to go free, but especially in Bangalore there is this nice road which actually collects tolls even from the motorcyclists, even from the mopeds actually. And this is a place where you will have a human interaction, because they don't have any touchless services as far as I know, like Google Pay or Paytm or anything. So either you have to pay by credit card or you have to pay cash, and when you pay cash, you give money, he generates the toll receipt and gives you a piece of paper and the change back, right? So this is all human interaction, human sort of touch point. I think the rules of engagement here must be, you must be in a full face helmet with the visor down, with the mask inside when you talk to the toll agent, to whoever is the person manning the toll. And ideally we wish that they enable touchless modes of payment like FASTag. So I wish that happens. And I would also say try and keep the change as much as possible, so that you don't actually have to collect the money back from him. So typically if the change is just 2-3 rupees, just don't collect it back, just collect the toll receipt back, leave the change with him, helps him out a little bit during these troubled times, and you are not taking the money back. And basically also think that this money which you are collecting back from him as change was given by somebody else. So that risk, the toll guy's risk, is all coming to you. So try and avoid taking any change back if feasible. After you are handed the toll receipt, especially in nice road, I think after you give it back at the other end of the exit, I think again after you are past that exit, try and stop somewhere, sanitize even your gloves which had touched the toll receipt with some sort of a disinfectant or a sanitizer. That is one. And again, as soon as you return home, I think the general rule must be, take off all your gear, gloves, jacket, and try and leave it in the hot sun outside, and if possible spray some disinfectant on it and leave it there for some time, so that anything which is sort of hanging around gets exterminated. After we return home, I think we must immediately go and have a hot bath with full soap and everything, or at the bare minimum try and wash up our face and mouth, gargle your mouth with hot water, and even of course you will wash your hands anyway. So this is what must happen. The next point is, I think it's better to try and avoid super large groups. So try and avoid riding with your buddies and everything. I think all of us love it, but unfortunately every human sort of touch point adds to the risk. So try and do solo or maximum 2 people. But yes, you do lose out on the whole group chemistry and bonding, but such are the times we're living in. Finally, this is a bit off topic, but and it's a bit of a sad topic in one sense. A few people are getting going through financial strain at the moment. Definitely it's a part of reality, and you will find that you'll be able to get some better deals in the market if you are in the market to buy a motorcycle. So you'll generally find people who have taken on an expensive bike, but they're no longer able to manage the financial commitment of owning this bike at the moment, and they want to sell it in the marketplace. So look, you will find a lot of such good deals. Try and look for them. It's not necessarily about taking advantage of somebody's misery selfishly, but with a fair price transaction, you get a good product, and it also reduces the seller's financial burden. So I think it's a win-win for both. And whenever God blesses them with a better time, they can buy this bike or an even better bike. So I think that's one other thing to bear in mind. So I think these were a short list of points that we must think about or bear in mind whenever the time is right to resume riding, and this is what I wanted to share with all of you. So let me know what you think of this this content, and if you have some more points to add on top of what I have just spoken about, the comment section is there for you. So with this, stay safe and stay healthy, and we will speak soon again. Bye.